Yo, what's up, everybody? Let's see. I'll explain where I am in just a minute. It's a beautiful beach. Okay, no, hold on. Okay, we're just gonna restart this. All right, so I'm just gonna give a little. No, it's not a warning. Okay, wow, my mind is not working right now. Okay, so here we go. Restart, fresh start. So what I want to start off by saying is that if you're joining this live thing after the fact, if it's not live right now, just check the description. That's where you'll have all the timestamps of everything we talk about. So you literally just click, you look through it, you just see like, at 5 minutes and 32 seconds, they talked about this, and then you skip over to it. So that's that. Anyway, now, just looking at my notes here, that's some stuff I want to talk about. Yeah, so let's see. Okay. First, I just want to say that part of the reason why I'm doing this live video right now is because this week I was kind of falling behind in terms of like making a video. And yesterday I was trying to make one. I was looking through all my ideas that I have planned, and I was coming up with some really good ideas. Like I have this list of at least 5 video ideas that I think are going to be really good ones. But the problem was, since I want them to be so good, there was no way that I was going to be able to do them at the level of quality that I wanted yesterday. And so here I am with no video. But I liked the live video so much from last week that I just decided, why not do it again? So 1 second, I'll be right back. I need a chair. I'm getting tired of standing up here. Thank you. Boom. Oh, this looks awesome. Wow, this is cool. All right. Wow. That is really cool. Okay. So yeah. Sorry. Hey, hi. First message. Hi, thank you. What's up? Hello, how are you doing this fine morning? Okay. Hi, Mom. For anybody in here, MJ Bloom is my mom. So, hi, Mom. This time I don't have to shout her out. She actually is here to participate. So that's awesome. But is that the beach blanket you got in Spain? No, it's not actually. It's a tapestry that we just bought a couple weeks ago on Amazon for like 10 or 20 bucks because it just looks really good in this room, because we kind of set this room up as like a party room, and it just matches the vibe of that, I guess. Nice like palm trees, but like also kind of electronic and cool looking. So that's that. But okay, so let's see. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that was a notification on my computer. I just muted it, so no more of that. Anyway. So I'm gonna start to get this rolling because I'm really off to a slow start here. So now it's time to get into it. So I wanted to talk about a couple of my video ideas that I have for these next couple weeks or so. I don't know what order to start in, so I'm just gonna go with the flow. So one of these videos would be possibly just one of those typical day in the life type of videos that a lot of vloggers do and stuff, where I could just show maybe like my morning routine. I also like to go paddleboarding, so maybe like go paddleboarding a little bit, go work out, maybe include like my workout and part of it. Who knows what else? But then along with going through my day, also have like a theme, something that I'm talking about. Like my favorite YouTuber, definitely my biggest inspiration, is David de las Morenas. He's from How to Beast. Very awesome channel. Here we go again with my voice cracks. But yeah, his channel is super, super cool. And he does that kind of structure where it's like he's both going through his day and showing you everything he's doing and kind of generating curiosity in terms of like what's up in his life. But at the same time, he's also providing a bunch of value, giving you tips on how to, whatever, be more confident or do this, or fitness tips, whatever it is. And it works out perfectly because he'll like talk for maybe 30 seconds or a minute or something, but then switch to like a really cool edit, like drone shots and stuff. And then like he'll talk about what's going on in his day, but then he'll get back to his main point. And then like it just kind of goes back and forth. I almost call them episodes, but the videos are like maybe 12 or 13 minutes long usually, but it feels like 5 minutes because the way that he puts everything together is super entertaining and engaging, and you just watch it to the end. Like, I want my videos to be like that. That'd be pretty cool. But write down his name. Here we go. Whoa. Okay. How to Beast. That's the name of his channel, and then his actual name is David. Yeah. But he's super cool guy. He's kind of like the first, yeah. Now that I think about it, he's the very first like personal development YouTuber that I ever started watching. So that's pretty cool because since then I've started watching many, many more. So hello, Neat Classico. Journey with social anxiety. I'd like to say that it's pretty much over, I guess. It was just, I still get it a tiny, tiny bit sometimes, depending on the social situation and whatever. But for the most part, it's pretty much gone because I've been really struggling with it ever since like middle school or something. And that's when it was probably at its worst. I didn't really talk to anybody at all. High school, I kind of started to open up a little bit more, make some more friends, and then build a little more confidence and stuff. And by the end of high school, I was pretty okay. But then through college, I was fine, but still would get really nervous, still wasn't super outgoing. And then I started actually consciously putting in effort into personal development and learning how to be social, all this stuff. And that's when I really started to see more and more improvement. Until now, the last like year or less than a year or so, I hardly ever get nervous for much of anything ever anymore. But I am still kind of quiet, and I think there's a good distinction to be made there. You can you can be quiet or shy or introverted or whatever, but not have social anxiety, which I think is kind of the point that I'm at now, because it's like if I don't talk in a social situation or I don't try to make friends or whatever the case is, it's more just because I don't feel like talking or I don't want to or whatever. Like, it's not because I'm scared to. Now it's just like, if I don't want to talk, I won't talk. And so that's just kind of where I'm at now. But, so it took me a year. It took you a year. I wouldn't say that. I would say it really depends on how you like define it. I mean, if I had to pick like a start to finish almost, I would say like probably like 13 years old to like 23 years old. Like, honestly, like the whole like journey, I'd say is like 10 years. But in terms of from when I really just consciously started thinking about it, yeah, maybe only like a year or so. But at that point, I had made 9 years worth of steady improvement. So it's kind of hard to say 1 year, but you know, everybody's different. Maybe you can get over it in a few months. Maybe you can take 30 years. Who knows? But so it's too early with the channel you need. What do you mean by that? Can you explain? You said it's too early with growing your channel. You'll need to handle much more. What are you talking about? What do you mean? How do you know when you're just quiet? Okay, Neat Classico. How do you know when you're just quiet? Well, or if it's social anxiety returning. So basically, it's just the feeling you kind of have inside you. Like if you're at like a party or something and you feel yourself like thinking like a lot and getting nervous and you don't know what to say and you start freezing up and stuff, that's probably social anxiety. But if you're like at the party and you're just sitting there chilling, you don't really feel like talking to anybody, but like you feel like you could if you wanted to, but you just don't want to, then I think that's kind of just being quiet. It's more about the feel. Like if you feel comfortable in the situation, it doesn't matter if you're talking or not. You're fine, basically, if that makes any sense. Hello, spiritual awakening. Social anxiety. It's too early. Social anxiety. Wait, sorry. How do you even pronounce your name? Shadia? I don't know. I'm sorry, but how did you develop knowledge about consciousness? Okay, so where did it first start? I'd say, I think it all started when I was doing general personal development stuff, and I kind of stumbled across The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. And I thought it sounded like a kind of interesting concept, an interesting book, whatever. So I started reading it. I read it over the course of many months. Like I took it very slowly, just like reading a little bit about it, kind of seeing it, see how it goes in my life or whatever, and then read a little bit more, see how it is in my life, read a little bit more, like integrating my experiences with it. And it was super, super life-changing. Till now, it's still definitely my favorite book, most life-changing book ever. And so after I read that, I started to look a little bit more into that and started watching some people on YouTube that talk about that, and or reading some more books, just generally consuming that kind of information a little bit more. And yeah, because I really think that like if you can be super conscious or aware or present or whatever you want to call it, I think that will solve most of your problems in life. So I think the more enlightened we can be, the less problems we're going to have overall. So it's always my goal to be expanding my consciousness and whatnot. So yeah. Do you know other authors similar to Eckhart Tolle, ones which might be easier to understand, because I feel like he is quite deep philosophy? Easier to understand. I mean, I'm reading another book right now that's kind of similar to The Power of Now, but I can't think right now. I can't decide if I would say that it's simpler or more complex or right about the same. Like I'm really not sure. I can't like think of how to gauge it. I might, like if I had to guess, I'd say I think it's a little bit simpler, and it's also a little bit shorter, and like the chapters or whatever, it's similar to The Power of Now. It's just like a page each, just these little concepts. And it's super cool. It's called Peace is Every Step by, let's see. Okay, I need to look up his name to confirm, because it's like, I think he's Thai or something, and I don't know how to spell that. I think I got it. Okay, I think that's his name. Okay, but yeah, that book is really good so far. I'm only maybe a third or half the way done or something like that, but it's been really, really nice as well. And I'm excited to finish that one. But okay, well, so I'm getting some messages here. Okay, pineapple pizza. I'm about to graduate college in about 3 months and hate my course. I have no idea what to do after that, or no idea what I want to do after that. I'm confused and worried. Any advice? Well, geez. I mean, that's a tough one to say. If you really, really don't like what you studied or what you're studying, I mean, the good news is that a lot, I'd say the vast majority of people, whatever they end up working in for their career isn't necessarily what they studied in college. I went to a school where people changed majors all the time, started studying different things like halfway through. And it's just, I feel like the point of college is more to learn how to learn So see how quickly you can process information, stuff like that, and see what you're interested in, learn what you want to do, which it sounds like at least you've learned what you don't want to do. So that's good. And what else? And also just kind of socialization in terms of like the experience of college, just like what it's like to live away from your parents, or what it's like to go out and party, or whatever it is that you do in college outside of classes or your time management and stuff. I think college is more of a holistic experience than specifically just learn this information from these courses. I think that's actually one of the least important parts of college, in my opinion, depending on what you're studying, of course. But yeah, so I mean, my advice is to try to figure out what you're passionate about. And if you can figure out a way to make money doing that, at least eventually, at least maybe start it out as like a side hustle, a little hobby, something like that. Definitely do that while you have some other job to make you some money. But someone who I would definitely recommend you watching, if you haven't already started watching him, is Gary Vee, or Gary Vaynerchuk. If you look him up on YouTube or on any social media, he's always giving tons of advice about people following their dreams, starting a side hustle, like building a business, all this type of stuff. If that's something you're interested in, then he's definitely the one to watch. Super motivating, super smart, awesome. So yeah, I mean, I'm sorry if I don't have enough advice on that, but that's what I would say. Also, is it okay to ask where you come from, like your background? Yes, that's fine. So yeah, I am just like, I don't know, I did one of those ancestry DNA things, and I'm not really sure if I like fully believe it. I don't really know, but it said that I was mostly British and then some other like European stuff. I don't know. So I mean, I'm basically just white, but I don't really know like specifically what kind of white. And then I was born here in Florida in the US, in Orlando, Central Florida. So that's pretty much my whole background. Pretty simple, white Floridian. But okay, anyway, what else to talk about? Okay. No. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. Okay, let's see. I had some more stuff I wanted to talk about. Okay, let's see. On mom's side, German and Irish. Dad's side, Scandinavian and English or Irish. There we go. Yeah, everybody that's in here right now, check out the chat. My mom just threw in a helpful piece of information to help answer the question about where I'm from. She says, on mom's side, German and Irish. Dad's side, Scandinavian and English or Irish. So there we go. All right. Do you consider yourself to be at a higher vibration now? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I like to think that most every week or so that I think I'm kind of on a little bit higher vibration, at least in one way or another. I'm always trying to get better. And yeah, I mean, sometimes you can't measure it like day by day, because some days are better than others and different life circumstances happening, you know, it's kind of hard to measure it that way. But I like to think that at least every week or every month, for sure, that I'm raising my vibration a little bit, just from improving myself in general, just personal development stuff. And yeah, just learning more about myself and about life. Like, that's one of the things I'm most passionate about, is just kind of like self-discovery, figuring out what it is that really makes you happy and figuring out that sort of thing. Sorry, I'm kind of trailing off again. I don't know why my brain's not quite functioning this morning, but yeah, I mean, I'm really, really starting to connect with my true self. And okay, like, Like, I feel I can feel the layers of my ego, my false sense of self, my conditioned self, all that stuff. I can feel the layers slowly peeling away. And the only way that I can like describe what this feeling is like is this sudden feeling of, pardon my French, but not giving a fuck about what other people think. Because I'm slowly, or actually pretty quickly now, getting to the point where I'm starting to realize, I guess you could call it like it's almost like a law of attraction type of mentality. It's like, before I was so worried about what other people would think, so I would act in accordance with that to try not to rock the boat or try not to leave a bad impression or whatever. But now what I'm starting to realize is, as long as you're being your true self and just expressing yourself exactly how you want to and doing exactly the things you want to do, doesn't matter if people don't like it, because those aren't even the type of people that you want to attract into your life anyway. The people that you will end up attracting, if you're just being yourself, you're going to attract more people that are also just being themselves and that also have that same sort of mentality, you know? Like, I don't want to put on some fake sense of self, like just be like, oh yes, I am this person, blah, 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 whatever, have this like whole identity and like meet other people that also are holding up this identity. And I feel like we're just showing each other our like fake, like our costumes, almost like, look, this is me. I went to school and did well in school and I'm doing this now and whatever. Like another way to kind of describe how I'm feeling with this is, recently I have started to love music and dancing on a whole nother level. Like, the last week or so, I just can't stop dancing. And it's weird. It's like, dancing was something I was always so unable to do because I was so paralyzed by fear of what other people would think. And if I would just like kind of start moving, I'd already start feeling like people were watching me and just kind of like stop. But now it's like, I'm that guy. Like, if you're out at literally like a Wednesday night downtown or something and everyone's just kind of like there talking, if it's good music, I will be there just like full on dancing, like going ham, going crazy. And like, I don't care what other people think. Same thing when I'm in the gym. I think I mentioned this before, maybe last week, but every time I'm in the gym, dancing, like between sets, I'll like lift, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Then once I'm off the set, I'll just be like dancing around because I'm listening to the music that I really like. I don't care what these other people are thinking because I'm having such a good time in the gym anyway, because that's the most important thing. If you can have fun in the gym, you're going to keep going to the gym and it's going to be something sustainable for you. And so what do these other people's opinions matter? All that matters is me going to the gym, me having a good time. Boom, that's it. So that was a really long rant and it kind of just went all sorts of different directions, but I hope you could learn something from it. And what is the measurement of us being in higher vibration or not? That leads me into a funny story. I wish I could go recommend you to a video of mine right now that I had posted about a month ago. But unfortunately, about a week ago, it was actually removed and I got a copyright strike from YouTube. It was on, I'm afraid to even mention the name now, or else they might copyright strike this and take this down too. But it was based on a book, and there was this really nice chart in said book that showed all the different emotions and stuff that you feel at all these different vibrations. And yeah, and I made a whole video on that, but I put the name of the book and the author in the title and probably in the description too, and I mentioned it in the video, so I thought that was fair game. I thought if you're just like straight up saying where you got all this information from, that there would be no issue with the copyright thing, but I guess there was, because apparently the owner of that intellectual property decided to strike down and take out the video. But you know, I'm just gonna type this in here. Just Google that. Google what I just typed in there, and that's what I made a video on that I wish I could share with you. But again, unfortunately, it's taken down. But you just look at that scale and you see all these different emotions and stuff, and you'll realize that, like, oh, like, yeah, all it takes is awareness. You just have to be aware of how you're feeling at different times and realize like, oh, like I'm angry. Well, why am I angry? Okay, blah, blah, like, etc. I don't know how else to explain it without, can you upload those details on your Reddit? Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a good option. Yeah. I can make a little post. Yeah. I think that's what I'll do. I'll make like almost a kind of blog post, like summarizing everything I talked about in that video. I'll put that on my Reddit. So yeah, that's another thing. Boom. In case you haven't joined already, join my subreddit, my little community. It's just r/MichaelDennis on reddit.com. If you don't have a Reddit account, super easy to make. I don't even think they require that you have an email. It's like super anonymous, super low key. So yeah, just go in there, make a username, and then look up r/MichaelDennis. You'll find it's a community. I think right now we have like 15 or 20 people in it, and you can post about whatever you want in there. If you need advice about something, whether it's related to like social anxiety, like I was making videos about for the first few months, or if it's about consciousness, spirituality, all that, or just general life advice, whatever it may be, go ahead and put it there. Or a success story or anything that you think could benefit anybody in the group. It's not necessarily just for you to talk to me or me to talk to you. It's for everybody to talk to each other. Like someone can post a question, someone else might have a really good answer to it and they can post that too. That's ideally how that would kind of work. But okay, what are your plans for this year, Michael? Will you focus on full-time YouTube or go to college? Well, I just graduated college less than a year ago in May. I am 23 years old, so yeah, college is done. I don't plan on doing any more studies like an MBA or what do you call it, like PhD or anything. I don't have any interest in continuing my education in that formal sense because I've been so good with school my whole life. Like I've learned every little bit of information that they fed me, and that was good for a while. But I think now I need to bring the attention more inward and focus more on myself. And that's what I've been doing these past like 6 months or so that I've been doing YouTube, because I think I've learned plenty. Like my brain is working perfectly fine. Well, maybe not this morning, but my brain in terms of learning information and knowing a bunch of stuff is totally fine, but I need to really focus more on enjoying life and focus on being more present and raising my vibration and doing all this stuff. Because I think once I do that, like I said earlier, it will make the rest of my life so much easier. But yes, so I will be focusing full-time on YouTube, and I don't know if I'm either going to get some sort of side job like something really simple like a server, bartender, waiter, like something like that, or continue doing Uber because I signed up for that, so I can Uber whenever I want now if I want to. So yeah, I might do something like that for a little bit of money, or maybe 2020, hopefully this could be the year where I start to make money on YouTube, whether it's from getting to the threshold where I can start making ad revenue, or if it's because of making an online course, or because of maybe just like affiliate links from Amazon that I put in the description and that will make me a few bucks or something. There are so many different revenue streams that I could kind of follow and try to figure out how to make some money. But I think the most important thing obviously is going to be having a bigger following. So for now, I'm just going to focus on trying to grow the channel. And then once I have a little bit more subscribers, then I can start to focus a little bit more on monetization. But yeah. Also, yeah, what did you major in? I majored in 2 things, international business and Spanish. So yeah. Is your mom okay with you doing full-time YouTube? I think so. She's here, so you can ask her. But yeah, she seems to be very supportive of me. At least that's what I hope. No, I'm just kidding. I know you are, Mom. I'm not. I'm not worried. But yeah, I think she believes in me. She always has. She's known I've been a good kid, a smart kid. I've always figured my stuff out. And so yeah, I think that I'd like to think that she thinks that I'm going to do well. And I like to think that I will too. And she says I have a star of intellect in my 4 pillars chart. So fun fact. I didn't even know that. Thank you, Mom. My brother's starting a YouTube channel. What do you know now that you wish you could go back and tell yourself when you were just starting your channel? Hello, Jordan. This is one of my close friends from high school, from when I was on the crew team. So yes, what do I know now? It's hard to say, man. Like, what I wish I knew now that I could go back and tell myself when I was just starting the channel? I'd say this is kind of like a two-part answer. The most important factor in terms of YouTube, I've kind of figured out, is they want people to stay on the platform longer, which means they want you to have, first of all, good title, thumbnail, and stuff so that people actually click on your video. But then in the actual video, they have to stay and watch it for quite a long time. Like, the longer you can get someone to watch your video, the better. And that part is also broken down into two parts. You want them to be able to watch a significant percentage of the video, but you also want the video to be as long as you can without losing their attention. So depending on the type of content, that length can vary. But basically, what I'm trying to say is you need people to click on your video and you need them to watch for a long time, whether that's because the video is super long or because the video is not that long, but at least it's super engaging that they stay mostly till the end, because that's how YouTube will start to promote your video, push it to more viewers. If people are clicking on it and watching most of it, then you will be totally set. And one of the ways, this is kind of the second part of what I said, it's a two-part answer. A couple of the best ways to get people to watch a little bit longer are to, first of all, be more interesting. That's something I need to work on myself, because yeah, sometimes I can get a little bit in my head and just like be too focused on what I'm saying and just be like, yes, so the first tip, you just have to blah, blah, blah. But like, when you talk like that, people will get bored or creeped out or something, and they'll click away and they'll leave. So that's something I'm actively working on. I need to kind of raise my vibration during my videos. But then also another thing that's really important are pattern interrupts. So just anything that makes it not just you talking for a really long time. So that could be whether it's like taking it from this to like suddenly zooming it in for a second and then like zooming it back out, or maybe adding some music at some point if it's relevant, or adding B-roll, like other footage that plays over while you're talking, putting like pictures popping up on the screen if it's relevant. Just all those sort of things will help people watch it a little bit longer, keep it more engaging. So, yes, MJ Bloom is my mom. And when is my birthday? My birthday is November 19th, which, if you're asking that for like an astrology purpose, that would mean I'm a Scorpio. So yeah, do with that information as you will. Okay, let's see. Is there anything else I want to talk about? Where would you place yourself on the scale of consciousness, Michael? Okay, so where would I place myself on the scale of consciousness? That is like a tough question because it kind of depends. Thank you, Jordan. I appreciate it. He says, your beard looks fire. Thank you. I tried pretty hard to make it look good. So yeah, so where would I place myself on the scale of consciousness? Like I said, that's kind of hard to answer because your vibration changes like every minute pretty much, you know, as you're going throughout your day. I mean, there might be times when you experience a lot of anger or shame or something, just depending on what's going on. But then there might be other times where you experience like a ton of joy and happiness and love. And so like when you ask something like, where would you place yourself on the scale of consciousness? That's usually referring to your dominant vibration. So let me pull it up. Let me look at it real quick, and then I'll say that. So scale of consciousness. So if I'm just looking at a few weeks, and I think since your vibration changes a lot, it's important to look at it again. I would say honestly, recently, I'd have to say it's been like, I mean, these are really, really high vibrations to be having as your dominant ones, but I think I would honestly have to say it's felt a lot like I've been at the vibration of love. But from what I've read in the book, or well, I actually didn't read the book, but from what I've read about the book, I think 500 and higher levels of vibration is like really hard to be at like all the time. So there's no way that I'm actually resonating at a vibration of love most of the time right now. But I'd like to think so. That's how it feels, at least. I don't know. I'm not feeling as many of those lower vibration emotions recently, like the shame and the guilt and the fear and all that stuff. I'm not really feeling that so much these last couple of weeks. So yeah, that's good. And like I said, I'm acting more out of love recently than out of fear. Like I'm like exactly like what I said with the dancing. Like I'll be at a club or bar or whatever and just like dance like crazy. And like I know like a few people are probably watching me like, what the hell is he doing? But whereas before I would have acted out of the fear of the judgment of those people and not danced. Instead, now I act out of the love of knowing that I just want to be my true self, just dance because I'm enjoying the music. And if someone else also likes that and appreciates that, they can join in on my vibration and we can just vibe together. And so I see that as kind of more acting out of love rather than fear, and something that I feel like I've been doing a lot more of recently. So. 200, yeah, courage. That's a very good way to put it. Yeah. So I would say you see around 200 on the scale of consciousness, which is courage. Yeah, that's another really great way to put it. I think that could be another good explanation of why I'm doing these things like that, like why I would not care so much what other people would think, and why I would go ahead and do what I want to do regardless of other people's opinions, that sort of stuff. That makes a lot of sense. I really appreciate that insight. Yes, that sounds like a much more realistic answer. So yeah, I really appreciate that. Let's see. Okay, so guys, are you ready for this? This is awesome. Hold on. So I said I would explain where I'm sitting right now in just a second. So this is an extra, well, not extra, I mean, this is a room of our house that for a while we hadn't really done anything with. It was just empty, pretty much. And then we slowly started furnishing it and adding some cool features, such as a bunch of cool lights. And it's daytime right now, so you won't be able to tell as well. But here we go. We're going to do a quick little tour of this. So here we have DJ turntable. Small one, but still. This is a fog machine. Yes, it blows a bunch of smoke and makes the whole room all hazy and stuff, which looks awesome. We've got a disco ball here. This is also a black light. Boom. Not sure if you can see that with the camera. And then a bar over there. Another light over here. These lights all around the room. I just put up these curtains too, so you can kind of block it out. We have one of these little balls. Wait, how do you turn it on? I don't think it's plugged in, but that's one of those things where you touch it and the little things like go to your hand. And then this is like a smart lamp, like smart light bulb. You can change the colors of all that. And then we just have all these couches right here, so you could just chill out, hang out. And so this is our awesome little party room. And yeah, that's the tapestry that we bought for it because it looks really cool. Like if you, let me kind of simulate this real quick for you. Over here. Just DJing it up. Boom. Just party over here. But yeah, hopefully you get the point. Basically, we like to have a good time. And that's actually a really good point. That perfectly transitions into the next thing that I want to talk about, which is how in 2019, if there's one thing I learned, which there are so many things I learned, but the one that I'd say I learned the most, and that I think is also very important, is how to have a good time. And it sounds funny, it sounds stupid, because I mean, everyone should kind of know how to have a good time, but sometimes you think you know how to have a good time, and then you realize later that you didn't even know, like there's so much more to it. And so basically, it was my last semester of college and my first semester, or not semester, but first time being out of college, which obviously means it's a pretty crazy time because you're trying to enjoy the end of your college life, and then you're also enjoying the new like freedom of not having college. And so, yeah, I went to a ton of music festivals, shows, etc., and just really started to love music more, started to really like dancing a lot, like I said. It's like one of my favorite things to do now. Like I'm constantly wishing I was there. But yeah, I think it's really important to know how to have a good time. And if you want to know how to have a good time, just let me know. That could be something that I can add into my coaching services one day. I could be like a party tutor or something. But anyway, okay, let me start getting back to the comments over here. Yeah, a club's a good place of vibration. You can make a club a place of a good vibration if you really want to, but I guess it depends on your perspective going in, and it depends what the club is like and all that stuff. But yeah, what a cool room. Thank you. Do I like living in Florida? I think I do now. I mean, I always did growing up and stuff, but then for quite a while, like the last few years or so, I didn't really like it because it was just like it gets so hot over the summer and like really humid, and I just don't really like that. Obviously I like the really nice temperatures, like when it's fresh outside and stuff, but then honestly I think I might even prefer cold over like too hot. You know, if I had to choose either too cold or too hot, I think I would choose too cold, because at least you can just put on more clothes and you're good. Whereas when it's hot, like you're just stuck sweating and feeling all gross all the time. And so that was like the main reason why I didn't really like Florida so much the last few years. But recently, for some reason, the last year or two, I've been able to handle the weather so much better. Like I'm not complaining about it as much. And maybe that's just a sign of my vibration raising up. Like we were just talking about, maybe like now I'm not so much on a vibration of like complaining and not being grateful and stuff, to now having a little bit more gratitude and realizing how lucky I am to live here. So many people wish they could live in Florida and they vacation in Florida and all this stuff. And I'm just sitting here being like, oh, I wish I could just leave. Like, I don't like this place. And but now that's not how I am anymore. Now I'm a little bit more grounded and enjoying it here, especially now that we have this awesome house and this awesome room, and I have awesome roommates, and just everything's going pretty awesome. So, okay, let's see. What else do I want to talk about? Okay. Okay, so yeah, so I'm going to quickly run through a few more of the video ideas that I have for some of the upcoming videos. So one of them is a video about a few tips, because someone asked last week if I was going to do workout or style videos, and I've been wanting to do some sort of workout video, but I think now I'm finally almost ready. I want to do one about how to stay in pretty good shape all year long with not that much effort if you just follow these few tips. And I already have them figured out. I know exactly. It's basically what I do exactly, because I like to think that I don't really put that much effort into the gym and stuff. Like I go like a lot, but just because I kind of like it, but it's not like anything crazy. But like I maintain staying in pretty good shape pretty much the entire year, just by following these few things. So I'd like to share that with you guys. Another thing that I think could be really cool is a video on kind of continuous improvement and the idea of always loving to learn, because like that's just the best way to live life, in my opinion, always getting better, and incorporate into that video like a progress thing, like where I take a couple clips from my older videos that are like, you can tell that they're my older videos, you know, and then show a couple of my more recent videos, like with my new intro and stuff, and just show like the improvement that's happened there. And like, I think that's just like a really interesting concept. Another really cool one that I want to do is Gary Vee spiritual? Which is a really interesting topic, because basically he outwardly says that he doesn't really need spirituality and meditation and stuff. He doesn't really use any of that stuff, but I've seen huge correlations between the things that he says and the actions that he does and just the way he lives his life and the spiritual path, I guess you could say. And I think he's almost just like really, really spiritual without even realizing it. And that's something that's really cool, in my opinion. I kind of want to dive deeper into that in one video. Definitely want to do a video on like active meditation, pretty much, which for me means paddleboarding. That's my most common form of active meditation, and dancing, of course. I guess you could include in that as well. But yeah, maybe make a video about that. I also want to do a really cool video of the house. Like I just showed you how we have this cool room and we have a lake. And so that's just like a really awesome opportunity to make like a almost like MTV Cribs style video of just like showing the house when we're using it for all these different things. Like have a scene of it during like a little party thing, maybe have a scene like having a fire out there on the dock and like showing the green screen, just maybe drone shots, just paddleboarding, like all the cool stuff that we do around the house. Another thing, cold showers. I want to do a video on cold showers because I think they're really awesome. And so, yeah, be expecting that in the near future because I'm a pretty big believer in them. And one that I really wanted to do that I was kind of thinking of doing for this week, but I ended up deciding I'm going to wait off on it a little bit, is about music and dancing and the true connection that you really feel with your true self and with others when you kind of express yourself and communicate through music and through dancing. And I think I might actually like dance in the video, you know, to make it a little more interesting. I think that would be pretty fun. Maybe start off the video dancing, then talk about it a little bit, maybe dance again somewhere in the middle, talk about it a little bit more. But I have a lot of thoughts on that. I think music is such a fundamental part of self-discovery and really figuring out yourself. And so, yeah. And I think I might also do a video maybe about like how to talk to girls or whatever, because that's kind of how I got into this whole thing. And so I almost feel like I owe it to the world, YouTube community, to put out my own version of that, because that's how I got into all this. And if someone ends up finding me through that and then learns all this other cool stuff that I talk about that I've learned over the last couple of years, that's pretty awesome. And I think that's a pretty discoverable video. I mean, a lot of people look that sort of thing up. So I hope that that could be something that will end up generating me a few more subscribers and whatnot. So that's about it for most of my video ideas for the next couple weeks. I mean, those are like the bigger ones. I have a few more smaller ones that I might throw in there every once in a while, but that's what we can expect in the near future. So let's see. What else did I want to talk about today? I think that's just about it. And it's getting to be pretty late. This is about the time that is about the duration of last week's. So I think it's about time to wrap this up. That's true. Last thing I needed to talk about, the last thing I want to say, kind of on the same page as all this stuff about the videos or whatever. I am starting to realize that what I want to do isn't necessarily strictly YouTube. It's not on YouTube and everything revolves around YouTube. That's not necessarily the case. What I really am trying to do here is build an online audience in general and have a little bit of a following so that I can share my ideas and my perspectives and stuff, because it's stuff that I think that has really helped me a lot, and I want to be able to help other people do the same thing. And so I figured YouTube is the perfect way to do that. But now I'm starting to realize YouTube has been around forever. The algorithm, some people would tend to argue that it kind of favors like people who are already a little bit more established. So it's not really the best place to like grow an online audience. And I've been doing a decent job of it. I mean, we're at 550 subscribers now, so that's not bad at all. But I do think that something that I should be focusing more on is TikTok, because TikTok, if you watch anything about Gary Vee, who is like a social media guru, just knows pretty much everything about social media. If you know anything about that, you know that TikTok is very new, but also very quickly expanding in the sense that there are some people putting out content, but now there are a ton of people coming to watch. There are a ton of people on TikTok watching these videos, which means that if you post a video, you get a lot more exposure than you would on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, etc., because they're already so established, they're saturated, there's no more room left for new creators and stuff. But TikTok, on the other hand, you can post a video having 0 followers, just put a couple hashtags in it and stuff. It will get seen by maybe hundreds of people and get like 50 likes or something like that. That happened to me. My first video got like a few hundred views and a bunch of likes. And I had no followers. I just put in a few hashtags and people saw those videos. And so I think I should really be focusing a little bit more on TikTok right now. But that doesn't mean I'm gonna like stop YouTube or anything. I still wanna post the 2 videos a week. I don't know how often I wanna do the live videos because I really enjoy them. And I really think that it's a better way of kind of connecting to me on a little bit more of a real level, because we're having almost a conversation where it's a back and forth of you guys asking questions, me kind of throwing out my thoughts on them, or me talking about whatever it is that I feel like I want to talk about. I really, really, really enjoy these live videos. But at the same time, I know that I probably shouldn't just do them every single week. But I'll have to figure that out if I want to do it every week or every other week or what I want to do. But basically my main point with that is that I want to focus more on TikTok and on my other social media and just have like a little bit more holistic growth strategy. Maybe find subscribers for YouTube through TikTok, because I have my YouTube thing linked in my TikTok description, and I have like, I say that I'm a YouTuber and subscribe, whatever. So yeah, I think I need to start focusing more on TikTok. So follow me on TikTok. I think my handle is @officialMichaelD. So check it out. I haven't really posted much so far. If you look at it, all my posts are super random. It's just like whatever I just thought would be cool and that might get some likes, because I just want to figure out what people like to watch on TikTok and try to figure out exactly how to post. But I think soon what I'm going to focus more on is actual videos, kind of like my YouTube videos, but like much shorter, just like quick, like 10 or 20 second, almost like motivational or like thought provoking, like something kind of interesting, and just like start to build the channel around that, or not the channel, the TikTok account or around that, or build it around funny but relevant stuff, you know, almost like jokes or memes or like short videos, skits about the type of stuff that I talk about. Like that would be another awesome little alternative. But anyway, now I feel like I am just rambling. I'm just talking everyone's ears off. So I am going to wrap this up now. I'm going to go and throw in a few things in the description, the timestamps, so that you guys can see exactly when we talked about what topics. And yeah, I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I feel like I still have something to say, but I can't think of it. So if I do think of it, I'm going to throw that in the description as well. So yeah, thank you all for joining. Thank you for everyone that came here, even if it was just for a couple minutes. I really appreciated having you here. And yeah, I'll see you on Tuesday's video, and maybe in another live session, either a week or 2 weeks from now. So peace and stream.